Peace and blessings. Welcome back to the channel once again, where we talk all things health and healing from a holistic perspective, and today will be no different. Today we're going to talk about some of the common causes of headaches and migraines, and I'm going to give you 3 solutions to help you navigate this. Now, I used to get headaches, particularly in the back of my neck and the back of my head all the time, and I'll tell you where the source of those headaches came from in a second. But before I do, let me tell you all of the other potential causes that could be causing your headache, okay? The first is a tension headache, where literally it's coming from tension. It could be that your shoulders, have a lot of tension in them. A lot of people hold a lot of their stress in their shoulders, in their neck, okay? So if you're one of those people who you constantly feel like your shoulders are up like this instead of down like this, and so the shoulders are supposed to be sort of at an incline, okay? But if your shoulders are flat like this, it means that you're holding tension in them and you're bringing them up like this. That's going to cause these trap muscles, your trapezius muscles, to tense up, okay? That's going to pull on, the muscle is actually attached to the back of the head, okay? And as it's attached to the back of the head, now it's creating tension in the back of the head, and that's why you get that headache in the back of the head, which is why I was getting that headache, because I was holding a lot of my tension in my shoulders, okay? The burden of the world was sitting on my shoulders, okay? And as I started to do different things and relieve a lot of the stresses in my life, my shoulders began to come down, and I became more conscious and mindful about it. I would literally pull my shoulders down and have someone push down on my shoulders and hold it down until my body got used to it, because a lot of it is muscle memory. Okay, so that's one cause. Another cause is diet. You always know I'm going there. Diet, like food additives, food additives like tyramine, caffeine also. Certain cheeses, most cheeses will cause you to have a headache as well too. And most people don't know this, even though they have this love affair with cheeses, it could be causing your headache. Okay, alcohol, especially red wine, because it has sulfites in it. And these sulfite compounds can cause you to have a migraine as well. Eye strain. So a lot of people, need glasses or need their vision checked, because you could be straining your vision, and straining your vision will cause you to get a migraine as well too. Also, certain smells. For me, I remember cigarette smoke. Anytime I would get around cigarette smoke, it would cause me to get a headache. Okay. Also, cleaning products in your home. So certain cleaning products, so you want to convert over to more natural products, and also gasoline. Okay. Some people, time they're at the pump, they're pumping the gasoline and they don't realize later they get a headache. It could have been as a result of inhaling the gas fumes, because they have a lot of toxins in them. Okay. Also, food allergies. So processed meats, some people with citrus fruits as well too. I mentioned some others, before, the food additives like tyramine, MSG as well too, monosodium glutamate, caffeine, as I mentioned before, and cheeses as well too, okay? Menstruation. Menstruation, as women know, can also cause you to have headaches as well too. Added sugar. So these unhealthy toxic sugars, not the sugar that's in fruit, but these added created sugars that go through a refining process. These sugars can also be causing your headaches or migraines as well too. And not getting sound sleep. You have to remember, when we go to sleep, it's almost like plugging into an outlet to restore yourself. And if you're not constantly restoring yourself, recalibrating, at some point, you're going to run out. And that headache is just a check engine light to tell you, if you're not getting sound sleep, I need sleep, okay? And another one is a head injury, okay? Some people who have head or neck injuries can also have headaches as well too. Now, what I want to do is tell you about a study that they did. They did a study, and it was a 16-week study, a random controlled trial study, which is the gold standard for all studies. And they had about 182 participants in it. They deviated these participants into 3 different groups. Okay, the first group, The only thing they did was increase omega-rich foods, okay? So things like algae, avocados, nuts, seeds, so things that are rich in omega-3s. And omega-3s are anti-inflammatory, okay? So that's the most important component of omega-3s when it comes to headache, and I'll talk a little bit about why that's so important. In the second group, they increased their omega-3s, but they also decreased their omega-6s, okay? Omega-6s actually are pro-inflammatory. They create inflammation. Pro-inflammatory foods are mostly processed foods. These processed foods will be loaded with omega-6s. This is why when you eat a standard American diet, which is roughly 70% processed foods, you're more than likely going to have not only an increase for obesity, but an increase for migraines and headaches as well too, because they're loaded with omega-6s on top of the food additives, the food chemicals that are also contributing to the issue. Okay, so in the second group, they increase omega-3s, which are anti-inflammatory, and they decrease the omega-6s in the diet. Okay, second group. Third group was the control group. They did nothing to them. Okay, they didn't change their diet. They didn't change anything. Okay, and after the 16 weeks, what they noticed was group 2. Group 2 was the group that has the largest reduction in migraine headaches and headaches as well too. Okay, so it's important to know and understand that first of all, our diet can affect us having headaches. The second thing that is important is it's not only about what you add to the diet, because a lot of times that's our approach. Our approach is what we need to add to, what supplement we need to take, okay? But we forget there's things that we need to remove, okay? So sometimes you gotta add and subtract, okay? Really, really important, especially when the diet isn't supreme, all right? So that's one tip for you. Increase your omega-3s, decrease your omega-6s, all right? The other thing that has sort of been sort of pivotal when it comes to migraine headaches is also digestive stress. Okay, so I talked about tension in the body or tension in the neck or, the shoulders can lead to a headache or a head injury, but you also can have what's called digestive stress as well too. Okay, in particular, digestive stress, in the region of either your gallbladder or your pancreas. Okay, now the way that you can actually test this is you can lay down and massage right under your left rib. Just massage there for about 2 to 3 minutes, okay? All under this left rib in the front. Now, what that's gonna do is if you feel soreness there under your left rib, more than likely it's because of your pancreas, okay? And your pancreas being overworked can cause you to have a headache, okay? Also, if you massage over here on the right side and you feel some tenderness, it could be either your liver or your gallbladder, okay? So you do that for about 2 to 3 minutes, and that massaging will relieve the stress in that area. Now, if you do this for about 2 to 3 minutes on either side and the headache or migraine goes away, laying down flat, it's more than likely something in your diet, okay? Now, what's really important is you can't do this massage each time you get a migraine and not actually address the issue that's causing the digestive stress, okay? So you wanna roll back to what we talked about before, increase your omega-3s, decreasing inflammation, decrease your omega-6s to get rid of the inflammation in your diet, okay? Also, reminder of the things that we talked about too, the caffeine, the food additives, the processed meats, the cheeses, things of that nature as well too, all right, could be causing your digestive stress, all right? So again, left side, pancreas, right side, liver, gallbladder, okay? Get rid of that digestive stress. It could relieve your headache, okay? And what the liver gallbladder means is that you're probably eating too many fatty, oily foods. If the pancreas, the left side, is really tender, it probably means that you're eating too many refined carbohydrates. Okay, so just some tips on how you navigate the whole changing of the diet and also doing a massage. All right, the last tip that I'm going to give you is a lot of people have found relief when they've added healthy salt to their diet. And I'll explain what healthy salt is. And the reason why I'm saying healthy salt is because most of the salt that's being consumed out there is synthetic salt. And so even though it's salt, it's synthetic salt, and it's not comparable to natural salt. And again, we'll talk about that. So the healthy salt that I'm talking about is pink Himalayan salt. Pink Himalayan salt literally comes from the Himalayan mountains. Okay, and at one point the Himalayan mountains was submerged underwater. The ocean levels subsided, revealed the mountains, and now we have this salt left over from the ocean, dipping level. Okay, that pink Himalayan salt compared to the table salt that you use when you go to a restaurant is not comparable at all. Actually, in pink Himalayan salt, there's over 82 minerals and vitamins in it. Okay, as compared to when you're looking at synthetic salt, that synthetic salt has no natural vitamins and minerals in it. Okay, it is synthetic sodium and synthetic chloride. Okay, so it's hugely important. There's a huge difference between natural salt and the stuff that you see in the little shaker on your table at the restaurant. Okay, now what's happening is that salt has been demonized in so many ways because it's been associated with high blood pressure. And the truth is, because the standard American diet is roughly 70% processed, a lot of what they use to preserve the food is salt, but the unfortunate thing, it is synthetic salt. So you're loading your body with this synthetic salt. So when you go out and you're looking at the label and you see that it has X amount of salt in it, most of that is synthetic salt. It's not pink Himalayan salt or Celtic salt. Okay, hugely important. So you're loading your body with this synthetic salt because it's ubiquitous in processed foods. All right. This is what's really causing the issue, because this type of synthetic salt is like shards of glass in the body. All right. Now, what happens is you're putting a lot of this synthetic salt in your body, but you're not putting natural salt in your body. We need salt. Salt is sodium and chloride. Sodium and chloride. All right. We need sodium to help balance fluid in the body. We need chloride. Why? Because of stomach acid. Okay, so we need salt in our diet. Even though we've been demonizing salt for so long, we need salt, but we need healthy salt. All right? When you don't get enough salt in your diet, you have a condition known as hyponatremia, which is salt deficiency, essentially. Okay? Now, when you have a salt deficiency or hyponatremia, the issue is your blood is normally salty, Telling you again how weird we were as kids. Whenever we cut ourselves as kids, me and my cousins growing up, you see yourself bleeding, you go, and you sort of get rid of the blood. And if you ever taste blood, your own blood, of course, you'll notice that it's salty, okay? Because salt is in your blood. Even on the battlefields, and we discovered this during World War I and other wars, is not to just, if somebody is, let's say they're dehydrated or somebody loses blood, when you give them, let's say a saline bag is salt water. Okay, so it's hugely important. Even a saline bag that we give patients is mimicking the blood by adding salt. Okay, so the blood is normally salty. That's the most important thing. The other thing is most of the salt is outside of the cells. Okay, inside of the cells, we have what's called potassium. Okay, potassium plays a key role in muscle contraction, but also this fluid balancing fluid. Okay, you know how sometimes fluid can feel like it's in your ankles or in your legs or in your hands. It could be because of a salt-potassium imbalance, okay? Because we have what's called the sodium-potassium pump, all right? pumping sodium in, potassium out. All right. And when that gets dysregulated, you're going to have an issue with fluid balance. Okay. Now, the other thing that's really important around this conversation is that sodium potassium pump is also creating what's called an electrochemical gradient. It's literally creating electricity because we are electric beings. And that electricity is what's creating the contraction. Okay. Now, when you have low salt, the issue is that now you're throwing the balance off. This can create a mutation in this sodium potassium pump. And this mutation is what can lead to this pump just being open, left open. And the more it's left open, it's going to become, the muscle is now going to become excited. Okay? All right? Especially thinking about this in the brain and how we get a headache. All right? Because remember what I said, potassium causes muscles to contract. All right? That sodium potassium pump creates electricity. This is what causes the muscles to be excited. This is what causes the headache. Okay? And so we want to get this headache to go away. So in this case, we make sure that we get healthy salt in our diets. Okay? So again, hyponatremia, not having enough salt, enough healthy salt, okay, can cause your blood glucose levels to go up. It can cause you to sweat excessively. Okay, so if you're one of those people who sweat too much, it could be because you don't have enough healthy salt in your diet. It could cause you to, it could be actually caused by drinking too much water, but it also can cause you to have migraines and headaches as well too. So a solution is take a pinch of the pink Himalayan salt, put it in a cup of water, drink that to make sure you get your healthy salt in, or just put it in your food, okay? And that will start to help those who are having this issue with sodium balance with your headaches and migraines, okay? So I hope this has been helpful. Until the next time, let me know in the comments what you think about the videos. Did you learn something today? Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Share this with other people because a lot of time, the simplest solution is the best solution, okay? A lot of times we don't need to pop that pill. What we need to do is make an adjustment in our lifestyles. Until the next time, peace and blessings and Godspeed.